What if the next major shift in this war isn't just happening on the battlefield, but in the streets of the capital itself? As explosions echo across the front lines and territorial lines begin to shift, political pressure is rising inside Kyiv. Is this the beginning of a turning point that could redefine Ukraine's future? Or a moment that will test its unity like never before? Stay with us, because what's unfolding right now could reshape not only the map of Ukraine, but the balance of power in Europe. Welcome to USA Latest Update, your trusted source for breaking political news, powerful analysis, and the stories shaping America's future. From Capitol Hill decisions to major global developments, we bring you the facts, the context, and the impact, all in one place. If you want real updates without the noise, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's big story. In recent days, Kyiv has witnessed visible public frustration. Demonstrations, public debates, and heated exchanges on social media reflect a society under strain. While the scale of unrest is debated, there is no denying that war fatigue is becoming a factor. Citizens are asking hard questions about military mobilization, battlefield strategy, economic stability, and the long-term vision for victory. For many families, the war is no longer an abstract geopolitical conflict. It is deeply personal, measured in loved ones at the front and daily disruptions at home. At the same time, Russia appears determined to reshape realities on the ground. Military analysts suggest that Moscow's approach has evolved. Instead of dramatic, rapid offensives, the strategy now focuses on incremental gains, sustained artillery pressure, drone warfare, and targeting logistics routes. By slowly tightening its grip in contested regions, Russia aims to create what it describes as new facts on the ground. These territorial adjustments, even if gradual, can have strategic significance, especially when it comes to future negotiations. The phrase "redrawing the map" is not merely symbolic. It reflects the reality that control of key towns, supply corridors, and defensive lines can alter the balance of power. Even small territorial changes can influence international diplomacy, sanctions policy, and military aid decisions. Every shift in the front lines carries political weight far beyond the immediate battlefield. Inside Ukraine, the political atmosphere is complex. President Zelenskyy continues to frame the war as a fight for sovereignty and national survival. His government emphasizes unity, resilience, and continued Western support. However, critics argue that transparency around military recruitment, resource allocation, and long-term objectives must improve. They stress that questioning policy in wartime is not betrayal. It is democratic accountability. Supporters of the government counter that public dissent during an active conflict risks weakening national morale and giving adversaries propaganda opportunities. Russian media narratives have increasingly highlighted signs of discontent in Kyiv, portraying them as evidence of collapsing unity. Independent observers, however, caution against oversimplifying the situation. Societies at war often experience internal debate without necessarily losing resolve. Economically, the strain is undeniable. Infrastructure damage, energy disruptions, and inflation have tested the resilience of Ukrainian society. Businesses operate under uncertainty, and millions have experienced displacement. International financial assistance has provided crucial relief, but long-term sustainability remains a concern. The longer the conflict continues, the more complex reconstruction and recovery will become. On the military front, the situation remains fluid. Ukrainian forces continue defensive operations while seeking opportunities to counter Russian advances. Western-supplied equipment, intelligence sharing, and training programs play a significant role in maintaining resistance. Yet the battlefield has become increasingly technological. Drones, electronic warfare, and precision strikes define much of the current phase. The war is not static. It evolves with each adaptation by both sides. For Russia, consolidating territory serves both strategic and domestic messaging purposes. Demonstrating progress, however incremental, reinforces narratives of momentum. For Ukraine, holding ground symbolizes defiance and national endurance. The psychological dimension of the conflict is as important as the physical one. Every village defended or captured carries symbolic power. Meanwhile, the international community watches closely. The United States and European allies continue to debate the scale and duration of support. Some policymakers argue that sustained assistance is essential to uphold international norms and deter aggression. Others express concern about costs, political divisions, and the risk of escalation. The war's ripple effects extend far beyond Eastern Europe, influencing global energy markets, food supply chains, and security alliances. In Kyiv, ordinary citizens navigate this uncertainty daily. Air raid sirens, disrupted services, and constant news updates form the backdrop of life. Yet there is also resilience. Cafes reopen, schools adapt, cultural events continue. War reshapes society, but it does not erase its identity. This coexistence of normalcy and crisis defines much of Ukraine's current reality. The emerging question is whether internal pressure will force policy adjustments. Could there be reforms to mobilization laws, greater communication from leadership, a recalibration of military objectives, or will the government maintain its current course, emphasizing unwavering resistance? Political shifts during wartime are delicate. Leaders must balance strategic secrecy with public trust. Diplomatically, the path forward remains uncertain. Any negotiation would require concessions, security guarantees, and international mediation. Yet neither side currently signals readiness for compromise. Russia insists on recognition of territorial claims. Ukraine maintains that sovereignty is non-negotiable. This fundamental divide keeps the conflict locked in a prolonged phase. As winter conditions and seasonal factors influence operations, analysts anticipate continued tactical maneuvering rather than decisive breakthroughs. The war has entered a stage where endurance, logistics, and morale may prove more decisive than dramatic offensives. Attrition, both military and societal, plays a central role. The narrative of a Kyiv Uprising may capture headlines, but the deeper story is more nuanced. Ukraine remains engaged in an existential struggle, and democratic societies under pressure often display visible debate. Internal questioning does not automatically translate into collapse. At the same time, sustained unity cannot be taken for granted. It must be maintained through leadership, transparency, and tangible progress. For President Zelenskyy, the challenge is immense. He must project strength internationally while managing expectations domestically. For President Putin, the objective appears to be gradual consolidation paired with strategic patience. Each leader operates under different political systems, yet both are constrained by battlefield realities. Ultimately, the redrawing of maps is not only about territory, it is about the future security architecture of Europe. The outcome will influence alliances, defense doctrines, and geopolitical alignments for years to come. Whether the coming months bring escalation, stalemate, or diplomatic openings remains uncertain. What is clear is that Kyiv stands at a critical juncture. Public sentiment, military dynamics, and international calculations intersect in real time. The conflict is far from frozen. It is actively evolving. As events unfold, the world watches closely, aware that every shift on the battlefield may reshape not only Ukraine's borders, but also the broader balance of global power. Thank you for watching USA Latest Update. If you found this report informative and valuable, make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to USA Latest Update for the latest political news and breaking updates from across America. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important story. Stay informed, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next update.